Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Mystical and Mysteries, the podcast. I have a round table today. I'm super excited. I have been wanting to do this case for a while. It actually just popped up on my feed one day. I saw that it was a case that's local to me here in PA, and I couldn't let it go. And then all of a sudden, I started seeing all this stuff popping up. I'm not on Facebook much anymore, but it was coming up on Facebook. It was coming up on TikTok, which was so weird. I just, maybe it's the microphone thing where once you hear something, then it starts giving you information. But I saw that our local paper, they did a story on it recently. Then it was another weird post on Facebook, and the police were like, hey, if you have any information, this is all recent, like within the last week or two.
Huh.
So freaking weird. So I don't know, maybe if that's the reason why it popped up in my feed in the first place or not, but totally intrigued. I am dying to get this rolling. So we're going to do, usually what I normally do is I read about the story and we tell you about it. This case, for those of you that are kind of new, we just do a psychic read. I have asked everybody to do sketches for this particular reading. And as long as all of you guys are good with it, I would like to share those sketches on my TikTok feed. It kind of corresponds with my podcast. So if you're cool with that, I'll do that. And of course, I'll label on like who drew what, so you guys know. And yeah, so let me tell you guys about my panel really quick before we get jumping in. I have Eli Stewart, I have Milo Kincaid, I have Anna, like always, and she's my partner in crime as of late. Eli, tell us a little bit about yourself. What you got rolling on?
Well, I've been doing psychic work for a very long time. Over 20 years, I've been focusing more on psychic art the past few years and turning a lot more towards teaching.
Oh, groovy. Anna and I just went to a conference where they did a section of psychic art. I've never done it like that before. Or spirit art, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Freaking cool. She had us do like charcoal, like cover the paper with charcoal, and then you start picking out the faces. Have you done that? Freaking awesome. That was crazy. Yeah, that's a whole conversation, a whole other thing. Morgan's here. All right. We were waiting for Miss Morgan Young to join us. And she is like very new to the crime scene, if you will. And hi, Morgan. We're just quickly going in. And Milo, I was just going to ask Milo to introduce himself.
Oh, well, I'm Milo Kincaid. I started doing psychic detective work probably, I think it was during COVID lockdown. We were tired of staring at the walls, and so we decided to like give it a spin, and I've been kind of hooked on it ever since.
Groovy, and you're really friggin' good at it. It's crazy.
And sometimes.
Yeah, I know. And his secret to success is that he doesn't give a shit. So
it's absolutely true.
I know. And I give too much shits. So that sometimes I get in my own head. But Anna, what's going on, girl?
All right. So I'm Anna, and I'm a little bit newer to the crime portion of what I do. I do a lot of mediumship, some psychic work, and a lot of art. So I combine a lot. I do, like you were saying, covering the charcoal. We do a lot of portraits and faces for spirit art. I've done soul art. So that's more along the lines of how I work. But I was very intrigued by the psychic crime solving and started taking classes with Pam Coronado and have just sort of been following the breadcrumbs, I guess.
Yeah. And really good. Anna and I, we debate often. We've taken a class where someone just, really works in the psychic side using crime, and kind of discourages us a little bit on mediumship. I've had an experience where mediumship screwed me up in a crime. So I tend to go more psychic. But Anna, freaking, her and I, she does mostly mediumship. That's her strong suit. And her and I got almost the same exact stuff, which was crazy. So my theory is let it flow. Who freaking cares if it's psychic or mediumship? Just get the shit on the paper and then start hitting it at different angles. Like that's kind of what I do. So anyways, so yay, welcome. And this panel is very artistic. Like a lot of these guys are like professional artists, not me. I just like to play. Milo's shaking his head.
Eli always does all my sketches.
Cheater. All right, Morgan. Hi, honey bunny.
Hi. I don't have the option right now for the video, and I don't know why. I'm over here desperately trying to figure it out. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yep, I can hear you just fine. So tell everybody a little bit why you're here today. And
I'm the newbie to your group.
Yeah.
I'm the newbie perspective.
But it's great. I mean, I think it's so intriguing. And we all start as a newbie. So, I mean, we've all been there, done that, sister.
Yeah. And it's interesting, I guess, to see you guys be so like, gosh, proficient and at ease. And that is definitely goals for me, because I love how you guys are just so confident in what you do, and you're all really amazing, because I've seen all of you at work before. So I have a bit of a different perspective. I feel very like baby deer legs about everything. I'm always like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. Am I off? Am I crazy? Do I need a nap or a snack or something? Like, I'm all over the place.
A cocktail.
Yeah, cocktail perhaps. Yeah. I'm still, absorbing and learning about what helps me and how I'm able to further myself in general.
Yeah. And I think that you're kind of still at the phase of like, how are they speaking to me? Like, trying to like, oh, why am I seeing white sheets? You know what I mean? Like, and we'll get to that part of your reading. But yeah, you know what I mean? So I think because spirit, when they talk to us, psychically, we pick up things. And then we start hearing things or getting things. And I think mediumship starts kicking in, regardless if we mean to or not. Mediumship is there. It's going to happen. And, like, why is he telling me this? Or they're going to tell us things that we're familiar with in our noggin. And it's up to us to kind of decipher. And I think sometimes that's where we kind of go wrong, is we're trying to name it versus describe it. And then we screw it up because of that. And so but you know what? Over time, you start to feel it. You start feeling what's right, what's wrong. And you just start kind of, we're not 100%. No freaking psychic medium is 100%. We're going to misinterpret shit. And maybe Tyler Henry is the only one that's a little different. He's adorable. How do you guys know?
He's amazing.
He's adorable.
Well, I love how it comes in kind of a little bit different to everybody too. And that's kind of right where I'm at, is trying to absorb sort of and learn how the communication does happen between different people. And then kind of like, well, what's strongest for myself, and like, where are my strengths and where are my weaknesses, and how can I improve and change that? But Tyler, I feel like he's developed a language that's specific to him.
Bro, my theory, cool. I think my theory too is that when people suffer illnesses or tragedies, right? That what I've experienced and what I've been told is that people they cross or they get closer to the veil. So it's easier for them to go back and forth, and they are a little bit more connected to the other side and get things like crystal clear. Whereas, knock on something, I am not that. I have not had a serious illness. I've had some tragedies, but nothing major. But I think that's what sparked my abilities to come back again, because I used to be super connected as a kid, and it kind of sidelined and then came back later. But well, with that being said, y'all, you ready to jump into this case?
Sure.
Absolutely.
All right, groovy. So I am going to give you, we're going to do things a little bit different. Normally I would give the whole story, but honestly, there's not a whole lot of story here. They don't know what happened. They do not know what happened. This his name is Nicholas Grassmyer. He is from Bellwood, Pennsylvania. And I am actually just going to stop there. I will tell you that his body was found. The coroner did label it as a murder. So now that you guys know that, who wants to go first? All right, I'll go first. No,
I was going to say, as a newbie, I can go first because I feel like mine will probably be the furthest from what you guys have picked up on already, because I know you guys are very strong in your in what you kind of pick up on. But so I worked with Olivia a little bit on this kind of in waves, because in my initial wave, I kind of wrote down that like it felt like there was more than one person. Like I had the word gang written down.
Right.
And he was about 19 years old, 18 or 19, somewhere he's younger. And then I had a feminine energy come through. I felt like there was something to do with a woman. There was like a female. And I had this really interesting image pop into my mind that I still can't place. I don't know, but I'll throw it out there and maybe you guys have something you can add to it. But I had the image of like the head of a bull. I don't know if like maybe she was a Taurus or something. And then I had a image of a snow cone, which was really also strange, but there it is, trying to develop the language.
When you say snow cone, you're talking about the ones that are in that like plasticky cone, like the blue and white with like the ice on it. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Like a classic kind of image of an old school snow cone. Yeah. Which I'm not really sure if that was like, I don't know, but I definitely saw it clear as day. And I get color. What I have noticed is that like colors for me are really something that I intuit better than everything else, I'll say.
Right.
I guess maybe it's because it's my creative brain. I'm not sure, but usually color comes through pretty good. And with the snow cone, like that red and this teal blue, like came through super, super well. I got anxiety. There was like conflict and anxiety. And then when I was working with Olivia, she was like, well, kind of like refine some of these things a little bit more. So I felt the snow cone like kind of was shown to me up to my face. And I didn't know if that was like a reference to a TV show, because I know that that's sometimes how spirit communicates to some other people, where they utilize like TV show scenarios to kind of like depict some things. So I wrote down the TV show and the scene and stuff that I thought that it could potentially have a relation to.
And what was the TV show?
Oh, that was Dexter. The TV show was Dexter, and in this episode, there was an ex-con, who was out to help locate a body. And when he was out locating the body, he was still in his orange jumpsuit. He went and bought an ice cream cone because he knew he wasn't going to go back to jail. So what he did was eating the ice cream cone, and then he walked out in front of a bus and passed away. So I didn't know if there was just like this, I don't know, like if that was related or not. So that was the TV show. And then I felt that there was a struggle with a decision that was already made. It was guilt and anxiety. And there was a lure for someone, and he knows that it was wrong. And I saw an arched door to a church, which I don't know why, but that image kind of came through. I'm kind of just paraphrasing and going through because I have a couple.
That's okay. Don't leave out the details though, because you never know what the detail, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we get weird shit and it's the detail that matters, right? Like the little thing. So you never know.
I'm still trying to like learn how to filter that exactly, like how to describe it. Cause I think that I describe things too much, maybe too specifically, instead of just going off
Well-
of feel, if that makes sense.
Well, just because I've been working with you, I think sometimes you like to name things
Yes, I do.
versus describe things. So I don't think describing is that's perfectly fine. Like describe away, but I think that sometimes you try to name it.
Okay.
And that's where we get a little goofy. That's why I was asking about the colors and the shape and made out of, weird shit like that. You never know how that could pertain. So
I definitely have to work on that for sure, because it's just my left brain wanting to take over.
Everybody's does. It's just how it goes.
I thought it was like a prison. I saw like a prison at night, and there was like a wealthy black sedan car kind of rolling up to it slowly. I could hear crunchy ground. I wrote, he died. I thought he had a handgun out the window, but I also have question marks because I don't know why I wrote the question marks. But yeah, I was kind of, it just felt like I was all over the place with this one. I felt kind of, I don't know.
I'm going to be quite honest. A lot of the stuff that you got, I will say that I got things that are very similar. So, I mean, just in a different way, I got them, but I think they're pretty similar. I don't think you're too far off, girlfriend. Honestly.
That's good to hear, because it felt like once I sat down and kind of reviewed it, I was like, ugh.
Yeah. What have we all been told? Like, when you think you're totally off is when you're usually totally on. You know what I mean? So
that is the struggle bus for me.
Well, for all of us. So I think you did really well. Was there anything else that you wanted to add?
I think, that's like the bulk of it all. I feel like what you guys have to add is going to be so much more interesting than, I have a lot more left brain stuff that I feel like I don't really know. So no, I'm good.
Don't put yourself down. You're there, sister. It's just about practicing and getting and doing more. That's all. And then understanding what you're getting. So don't put yourself down. You're just a baby. Little sweetheart.
I'll get there.
Groovy. All right. Who's next? You want me to go? I was kind of all over the place.
Go ahead.
All right. So I obviously looked at the picture and I was 1970. So I saw the picture. I did not read anything about it. I just downloaded the picture. And then normally I wait like a couple of days before I really sit with it, because then honestly, I forget all the time. So I sit there and go, oh shit, I can't remember where this kid is from even. I know he's from PN, but I couldn't remember. So I was saying that he was from Hollidaysburg. So that's what I was focusing on. Anyways, I said 1970s vibe. I felt like he was missing and then found. And had a little bit, okay. So I felt like he was a really nice kid, like good character, but he was a teen boy. And I think that there was some, maybe just a teeny bit of attitude. Maybe like, I felt he was very athletic. And I kept getting school. So I thought maybe popularity, that there was some kind of, he was known for his athleticism. So he was well liked, but teen boy. Like, you know what I mean? Like a popular teen boy, a little attitudey. But very nice kid. I felt a teeny bit of arrogance is what I wrote. 16, 17 years old. And again, I kept hearing the word school. And I felt like tension was school based. I kept feeling that feeling of untouchable. I just kept feeling like that's that arrogance thing, I think, a little bit. So I don't know if this was coming from the victim per se, but I felt like the situation, there was some stuff that was like, I'm just untouchable and I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. But it came from arrogance. I wrote down party ? I wasn't sure about that, but I do know that there was drinking involved in this situation. I felt like there was a lot of weed involved in this situation. I could smell it. I could just smell the weed. I felt also that there was a female involved in this situation in some way. I did feel that at one point he was lured away. They were like, come on, let's let bygones be bygones. Like, zero sincerity. But like that, I felt like this kid knew he was in deep shit. Seriously, he knew he was in trouble. I felt that he was getting lured away, like, come on up. I also felt something about a vehicle. Red flags, big time. Perps, I felt like jocks, and I felt like there was between 5 and 6 of them. So I felt there was multiple. He shouldn't have trusted them. Like, I feel like he didn't trust them, but he was like, what are they going to do? You know what I mean? They're going to beat me up, but come on, what are they going to do? Let's see, 5 to 6 people. I felt like they met at school first. Like, whatever happened, I felt like they were at school first, and then they saw them again later, just by chance. I don't think it was like a planned meeting or anything, but like saw him by chance. I almost felt like, isn't that the guy that gave a shit at school, or something like that? Like, they pointed him out that way. I felt that everybody involved was between the ages of 16 and 20. So they were all like different ages, but between those ages. Yeah, first run-in was at school. The victim knew he was in deep shit, felt uneasy, but trying to give these guys the benefit of the doubt or something. He let his guard down. And then I felt like I was in a vehicle, and then short drive, like super short drive. And then I just saw a wooded area. So when I looked around, it was literally just woods everywhere. And I was going to say the encounter at school, I felt like was with 1 or 2 people. But then when they saw him again later, now we're talking like 5 or 6 people or something like that. I felt like it was way more. Okay. So then, yeah, I didn't feel like they went very far. And I did feel a female. I felt that she was with the perpetrators. I feel like, they all know what happened to this kid. I think it went way beyond what they had planned to do. I think the main perpetrator who initiated this, I felt like he was the older of the group. I also felt like he was extremely athletic. I see him with an athletic build, brown hair, maybe towards like 1920, years old. I felt like him like a little bit older. Still feel like he was connected to the school somehow. So I'm not quite sure how that all works out. Let's see. Oh, I do feel one of the guys in the group, I heard yelling. I heard like, stop, you're going to kill him. Stop. I heard the female screaming. I felt like the guy was like, this is not what I signed up for. I thought we were just going to like punch him up a little bit and then leave. And this guy went hammy on him. But I feel like this guy lived with guilt all these years. And I would not be surprised if one of the perps end up being like a severe alcoholic or drug addict. And I do believe he has passed already. I do feel like the victim got beaten and jumped by all. I also felt blunt force trauma to the head. I felt like it was a weapon of opportunity. I will say I felt like I saw them all kicking him face, neck, back, and then the head. But I also feel like I picked up a rock or something and hit him, or something is in my hand and I hit him on the head. But I feel like it was a weapon of opportunity. I feel like this kid was in bad shape. They knew he was in bad shape, and they knew they fucked up bad. And I think that's when the panic started to set in. This is where I get a little confused because I felt like he was just left there. I don't feel like they buried him. I don't felt like that they did any damage to his body. I felt like they had just left him there. But then I felt, am I in the car again? And am I being dumped somewhere? But where am I dumped? It's also wooded. So I don't know if I'm confusing the two. Am I still in that same location, or did they move me and put me in another wooded area? I don't know. So I wasn't quite sure about that. I felt with where they found his body, if they found his body, I felt like it was going to be found by like hunters or like hikers or something like that. I felt like where I park is kind of public. Like this place is like, is it a park? Maybe I felt like I saw water. I felt like I saw a road and guardrail and like an embankment or a slope. And like did we toss him down there? And he was kind of hidden by the brush and the bushes. I'm not sure. I do feel like the perpetrators lived. I mean, I feel like that main perpetrator may have been a businessman or someone that ended up being like prominent in the community. I felt like I heard the word karma, and I feel like most of the perpetrators are already deceased. Like if they died young in weird ways, like, I don't know what that means. I also felt like there would have been, or could have been, I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of them like went to bars when they got older and was bragging about it. Like, we're smarter than the cops. We get away with murder. We can do it. Like, I don't know, like some kind of weird, like they were assholes when they were kids, but they would continue to be assholes. And I think that's one of the reasons why not anybody came forward in this case, because they're scared of like some of the guys in this group. And so I felt like rumors, there's got to be, I think there's a ton of rumors in the community. I think that people know exactly who did this, but there's no proof. When I say there's no evidence, I think there was tons of evidence, but I don't think back then they had the capability of like maybe DNA or something like that. So, but I do feel like the bullies are still bullies. Middle of the woods, blah, blah, blah. I definitely felt like he was murdered. I felt like these guys felt like super arrogant too, smarter than the cops. Well, we did get away with murder, ha ha ha. Like, I just kept hearing weird shit like that. And then I heard karma. And then I felt, I felt, again, this is for location of maybe where he would have been found. I put park, found at the park. I saw the water, I saw the guardrail. I felt like there was an embankment or a slope, and he was thrown literally out there. And then the other thing I got, which I thought was super weird, when it came to the perpetrators, I wrote multiple T's. Like, I felt like their names started with T's, and I felt like there was multiple of them. And then I felt like a couple of them started with J's, and there's like multiple of them. Like, I don't know, it was super weird. And then my neighbor popped into my head. Now, his name was Tommy. He is the age range of this group of kids at that time. And he had a brother named Jason. And I just thought, that is so weird, T's and J's. But could that also be telling me that some of them are brothers and some of them are related in some weird way? I don't know if I'm stretching that or not, but that is what I got, some T's and J's. So who is next?
Actually, if you don't mind, Olivia, I can go next because a lot of what you have dovetails into what I got. But
oh, sweet.
If Anna wants to go instead, that's fine.
No, you guys can go because you might cover everything I have here on my paper.
Okay. So I did 2 different sessions on this.
Okay.
The first one, I got that the victim was walking on a road, a highway, but not like the interstate, like a state highway.
Yes.
Okay.
Like he was not too far from home. The attack happened on the side of the road.
Yes.
The vehicle had 3 guys in it. approached, mid to late 60s-ish car, kind of boxy, two-door. Three guys jumped him and pulled him into the vehicle. In this first session, I got that they pulled him into the vehicle. In the second session, I got that he was done. They had killed him and they put him in the trunk. So I'll go back to that in a few minutes.
Okay.
One of the guys that jumped him had a giant T or a cross on their shirt. I believe it was a T though. In the second session, it kind of came through a little bit better. I felt a blow to the back right side of my head and it exploded in pain.
I got that.
I saw the victim on the ground near a large body of water, not like an ocean or anything like that,
Right.
but bigger than a pond. So like a lake. It happened late at night, like after midnight. The victim was in a very celebratory mood, like he had just had good news or he had just gotten laid, something like that. He was in a very happy mood.
Yeah.
I also saw a very quick flash of a hand-drawn bird's head. Like, I don't know how else to explain it other than it's a bird's head. And
Okay.
maybe like a falcon or an eagle or something like that. Not like a chickadee or anything like that.
Okay.
That was the first session. And that one kind of got interrupted because my blood sugar dropped and I was crashing. So the second session, I got that the victim was a young teenager between 15 and 18 years old. He was happy about something, celebrating. Something happened, and he has to walk. Like his ride bailed or his car broke down. Something happened, but he had to walk. Or his friends left him on his own, that kind of thing. He's walking down a 2-lane road, like a state road, not an interstate. Relatively quiet, not a lot of traffic. I feel like all he wants to do is get home. Home is ahead of him. Then there's the sound of a car coming from behind him. And the car is an older model boxy, 2-door, 3 boys in the vehicle. One is wearing a shirt with a big T on it. And one is wearing a varsity jacket. These kids are around the same age as the victim. They jump him. There's that explosion in the pain in the back of the head again. And then he's gone. The victim is gone. The 3 boys, I don't feel like they even really knew him. Like, I almost feel like this was a random, like, I don't know, rivalry thing. I don't know. The first boy with the t-shirt on with the big T struck him in the head with something like a stick or a bat or a tire club. He's blonde, around 5'9", 5'10", longer shaggy hair, similar in style to the victim, but wispier. Think Leif Garrett, but shorter hair from those days. He seems to be more the instigator than anything, because my focus was mostly on him. The other 2 boys had darker hair. One was in the varsity jacket, and one was taller and skinnier. The other one was shorter and sturdier. Kind of like, think of what a linebacker looks like that. Right. Not fat or anything like that, just sturdy.
Yeah.
And then let's see, they put him in the trunk of the car. They were all freaking out. They drove for a short distance, like maybe 5 to 10 miles, not very far at all. It was a remote area, not a lot of people. There was a larger than a pond body of water, and they leave the body there and just go. I feel like one of the boys is no longer alive, one of the 3 people that jumped him, but the other 2 are. The main instigator is alive, but no longer lives in the area. He feels distant. So I did pendulum work to determine the victim's location. I got 2 hits in Pennsylvania, and the 3rd hit was on the Pennsylvania, New York area. And then the main perp, all three of the hits came in Texas.
Oh, interesting.
So, and that was the end of my session. Oh, and I don't know if you can see it on my lined paper, but that's kind of like the T
that you saw.
Yeah, did that show through? I can't tell.
Yeah, I can see it. So I don't know if this is helpful or not. So while we're sitting here, because I kept thinking about like the horns that I saw on like tea and stuff. So I just, out of curiosity, Googled the mascots for Bellwood and for
Oh
Tyrone.
wait, don't go there yet. We didn't read. We didn't read it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I got you. I got you. I know what you're saying. So if you don't mind, I'm going to skip
No, not
that.
at all.
Okay,
Sure.
because I know where you're going with that, and I actually already looked it up because he gave me his drawing before.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. No. You're cool. It's good. That's crazy, though, is it not? That's crazy.
Wild.
Yeah. So, yeah, I know, Milo. We'll tell you in a minute. I'll do a screen share. I know he's like, what the hell's going on? So I'm like, wait, don't go there yet. Yeah, no, I haven't even told the story of what happened to this kid.
Oh,
So,
okay, sorry.
no, you're good. You can't. No, it's cool. So, all right, Eli.
All right. So let's see. Where did we start? I never got to the point where I could see like actually being beaten, but everything kind of implied that very, very heavily in my sessions. I got the sense of there being a lot of what's already been said, teenage boy bullshit, basically. You know, like a lot of this seems to be instigated from almost a pissing contest kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And I did get some interesting situation around the vehicles. I could never quite figure out what he was fully doing. I got the sense that he was leaving some kind of gathering that had a lot of people. He was in a good mood, and then he was confronted and assaulted by a group of 3 to 4 guys. I think they went further than they thought they did. They then freaked out. I felt like they then loaded him into the car, took him somewhere first where there was an adult or got some information, went to an adult, went to somebody older to kind of help them out because they knew they messed up big. And that while he didn't do anything directly, I feel like the adult who was older sort of directed them as to what to do, where to go, and whatnot. I felt like it came about because it had more to do with the cliques that the boys were a part of rather than the boy himself. I feel like there was a bit of mistaken identity on the part of the victim, as in the perpetrators thought that, oh, that's the guy that did X, Y, and Z. That was the guy talking up my girl or whatever. And that's why they did the thing. But it turned out that wasn't factually accurate, that he was somehow connected to it, but he wasn't the actual one that they would have or should have been mad at. I got indications of sort of a weapon of opportunity. I envisioned it as like a baseball bat. That a lot there wasn't a whole lot leading up to the fight that took his life, but there was a whole lot of energy that kind of went into the cover up, or the figuring out what to do and where to go. Alcohol was definitely involved. I did get the sense that there is a girl somehow involved in this, but I don't feel like she saw the actual had anything to do with the direct occurrence of the crime. I feel like she was an influential factor, kind of on the side. The perpetrators have some sort of groupthink thing going, and I kept trying to put them in the military. And when I asked directly, like, oh, is the perpetrator military? I didn't get a yes, I didn't get a no. I got like dead center. And so that kind of made me think, okay, maybe he went into the military afterwards, or maybe they were part of the ROTC, if that was even a thing in the 70s, I don't know. And that everything kind of grew from the dynamics of the group. This was very much had any one of the people kind of been on their own, had the victim not been part of his friend group, had the perpetrators gone home alone instead of in a group, I don't think this would have happened. But I do think that it was still very, very aimed. If he wasn't going to be assaulted or murdered, he was going to be hazed in some other way later on. Wrong session. Nope. There we go. Okay. The second session I did, I focused a lot more on kind of the nonlinear aspects, the confusion, the partying, everything that was kind of leading up to it. I settled more towards 4 people at this time, whereas the numbers were growing and shrinking in the first session a lot more. And so I settled more on 4 people actually there assaulting the Vic, plus the one older guy that comes into the picture later on. Where they left him, I kept getting weird wooded areas, but also things that were evoking like a rock quarry. There was definitely water somewhere. There was a large or tall cliff kind of thing going on. Lots of rocks around, but still kind of butting up against this heavily wooded area.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of jealousy and misdirection. It really boils down to teenage boy crap. I did get a commonality be sports, that the perpetrators at least were linked by sports. I think that somehow the victim was somehow tied to a sport as well, but not directly. Like he wouldn't have been on the football team, but he might have been the mascot or the team manager or whatever. Like
Right.
he was somehow connected to it, but not in their click. What else? And so I kept getting the sense of the 3 locations. The first location where everything kind of kicked off, the event, it seemed like a dance, a party, whatever. Then the victim left, then the perpetrators left, came across the victim, did the deed, and then they went back to where that party was, is my general feeling. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that adult, I'm connecting to that first place, that initial place. And
Right.
what makes the most sense to me is that it would be school, and it's like a school dance or something like that. And then from there, they are directed as to where to take the body and leave it. And I think that, everybody involved seemed really athletic, very athletic leaning. There was somebody beefier, but there was also a tall, lanky, wiry kid that was a little taller than everybody else, like a little over 6 foot. I feel like he would have been the one kind of expressing objection. I feel like he would have been the one kind of like, this isn't quite right, guys. We need to stop.
So you got a guy too that was like guilt ridden and like, what the hell is happening? Yeah.
Yes, and I kept flipping him and who Milo kind of pointed towards as the primary perpetrator. I had it narrowed down to those 2, but couldn't figure out which was which, and so I just kind of went with Milo. Like, okay, yeah, that fits. I think that is mostly it.
Okay. We're syncing up, y'all. Pretty good. Anna Banana, what you get?
I mean, I don't really have too much new to add to that pile. So how it came for me was basically when I looked at that photo, I felt like he wanted to tell me something. Like there was something behind his eyes. That's kind of where it started. And so I feel like I'm walking on the side of the highway, sort of like Milo saying the two-way traffic. But what I noticed is, again, it feels like it's kind of rural here. And I feel like when I look around, it's nighttime. I don't see a lot of street lights. I see the two-way traffic. He's walking. I see the trees to the side of me, and I see the embankment going down. I feel like it's this cold state. Like it looks like my hometown in Maine, but I know it's not Maine. I don't recognize as that, but it feels like that kind of a place where it would be cold. I feel like he's walking because I feel like something went down earlier. I feel like he was like, again, drugs and alcohol. He was at a party. And somehow he either got separated from his ride. Something happened there. I don't know what the circumstances were, but I feel like as he's walking and I like walking home. I did get flashes of his what I thought was his house. It was like a little white house. And for some reason they showed me yellow walls and just that it had some like weird colored like appliances in there, but and there was some yelling going on, and I don't know why that flash came, but that was also there. So I get him walking, and then I feel also that the wrong, like part of this, the feeling that he made me feel like was that there was a divide in the town because of the person or people, I got 5 that were accused of doing it, but the person they thought was his friend, and he's trying to clear his friend. He was like, it's not my friend. He wasn't involved in this. I feel like the guys all knew each other. The guys that showed up, I saw a car pull up behind him, kind of like Milo was saying. I felt like they jumped out of the car. There was 5, the girl sitting in the passenger seat. There was a male driving the car, and I think there were 3 males in the back. I can't make them out. I feel like I'm being grabbed. Like I see all these bodies, people running at me. I'm being grabbed. And then I feel immense pain. I don't see weapons. I don't see anything. I don't know what they're using. I just feel pain. And that's all I see for that image.
Yeah.
I know he never makes it home. And let's see if there's anything else that I forgot that someone didn't cover. I got the name Derek. Yeah, I know you said it was Nick. So I guess that's good for me. At least I got close. It rhymes. I don't use names. And yeah, I feel like he was just walking to go home. Like I said, separated from his friend. And I feel like he's just wanting to prove his friend's not the one who did it. Like people, not that his friend was accused or he was investigated. And I feel like he just wants to clear the name so that the town doesn't hold him responsible. Like I feel that's what
that's interesting.
That's the message I was getting. So it came at it from that angle.
Right.
And those were just flashes that would come. I mean, nothing wasn't necessarily the order. It was flashes and bits and pieces, so I just kind of tried to give you a sort of feeling of what it was coming through my head.
Right. That's, you guys, we all got very, very similar stuff. I think that leads a lot of credence to what happened. I mean, that's crazy. So let me read you. I mean, it's not a very long article because they don't know what happened really. But it says here, Hollidaysburg, PA, it's WTAJ, which is our local news people. But it says Pennsylvania State Police are offering the public a $5,000 reward for any information to help their investigation into the homicide of 16-year-old Nicholas Grassmyer. He was a junior at Bellwood Antis area high school. When he disappeared, it was September 9th of 1977. That day, Grassmyer played in a football game against Tyrone High School, then visited his girlfriend. So apparently, back in that day, especially, there was a huge rivalry between Bellwood and Tyrone. Just FYI. Then he went to go visit his girlfriend. And then it says calling his parents a little after midnight, telling them that he had car trouble and was going to walk home. Grassmyer failed to return home that night and was reported missing, with the last person seeing him walking along Route 865 out of Bellwood towards Route 220, according to authorities. police said Grassmyer's body was found a couple of days later. It was September 11th of 1977 off Route 859, which everybody's like, that's not the right number, out of Bellwood, about 6 miles from his home. So Milo, you nailed that. So I guess when he was walking, he was so close to home. And then they discovered his body 6 miles away in an area that he would not have normally have been. Is what it sounds like to me. But that's all they know. Oh, the autopsy revealed that Grassmyer died of a fractured skull, and the coroner ruled his death a homicide. So I truly believe there was definitely more than one perpetrator. Like, now I could see their heads, but I could not see their faces. And this is why I asked you guys to draw. And I'm going to do a screen share here. Let me.
I was writing and I missed where you said the body was found. You said about 6 miles away. Where?
It said, well, it doesn't say here, but he actually was found, his body was found in at a reservoir. It's called Tipton Reservoir in PA, obviously. So let me share this with you. All right. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, groovy. All right, so this is the article. And not a lot, but he was definitely found at a reservoir. And let me show this to you, Milo. Okay. This is the Bellwood high school shit. Did someone say something about horns?
That yes, I saw a bull with horns.
Look at this. Bro, I know it's not a bull, but I could see where you would see that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there was like a horn connection.
That's crazy. So this is what, and now Nick, he played for Bellwood. So this was his team here. The opposing team, hello.
Oh, wow.
That's the T.
That's the team. Look at the head. Look at the bird's head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bird's head.
It looks exactly like the T you drew.
That is some crazy shit. And that T looks exactly like what you drew.
Wow.
And like I said, I kept getting school. So a lot of people, because they didn't know, I had read some things here and there, and people said there were some people who assumed that these kids were from the rival, but then they're like, well, why would they do that? I just think they were a bunch of testosterone-y children. You know what I mean? Like kids.
Yeah.
These are just fucking dumb decisions, bro. And then, yeah, so his brother's name is Bob. His dad's name was Bob. I think this might be his niece. But let me show you, I'm going to get to these pictures because this is crazy. So the reason why I wanted to do pictures was because I kept drawing stuff. And I wasn't quite sure, but this is really interesting. So this is Milo. Is this one who you saw, or Eli? Is this your girl? Or is this a guy?
Guy.
Okay.
That's the guy. I just couldn't give him the floopy leaf Erickson cut.
Oh, gotcha. That's our leaf. Okay.
Yeah. The main guy on that page was drawn from Milo's session, and then I filled in with some of the details from my session that he didn't have.
Okay. And is this your dude that felt super guilty?
The skinny, yes.
Yeah. And then, okay, I find this very interesting. And that's why I had asked you, because Milo did give me a sketch a couple days ago. And I had asked him, like, do you feel like this is at the time of the crime? Because I felt like the perpetrators were young. So I was just curious on what you were picking up. You know what I mean? But I want to show you guys something. I find this very interesting. Milo, is that kind of like the face or the jaw structure you were seeing with your main perp?
I can't see it on the
I
screen.
either.
Oh, crap. Really?
No.
I see Anna's pose.
Bummer. All right. Well, now you guys have to you guys are going to shit yourselves. I'm going to put that in our little group chat so that you guys can see these. Can anybody see these or no?
I cannot see them. No.
You
Oh,
can't.
crap. Am I not screen sharing anymore? I thought I was still screen sharing.
You are, because it shows Anna's pose, but that's as far as it goes.
Dang it. Okay. Well,
Okay. I put our combined sketches in the chat.
all right, groovy. I'm gonna throw these all in our chat then. Let me get in here and boop.
I think I need to do the same.
All right, check it out. Open your chat I could do it on the chat here, but open your I'm gonna stop screen share because it's not working. And I'm going to open. You guys are gonna poop yourself. Well, I thought this was pretty freaking amazing. Nick, all right. Oh, frick. Oh, frick. All right, hold on. Oh, no, I'm skipping. All right, here we go. All right, they're starting to download here, but oh my God. All right, hold up. And go. Now remember, this is 1970s, right? So it was like, Leif Garrett, that kind of stuff. So this, so now you guys can see Eli's picture, the dude on the bottom right. But look at the face shape we all drew. So the guy, okay, I don't know how you guys are seeing it, but the guy on the bottom left, are you seeing that? That was like a quick sketch. I was just like trying to throw it together. That was mine. And then I tried to sit with it a little bit longer and I got basically the same thing. It's the one to the right. But then look at the one even next to that one. That's Morgan's sketch. It looks like all of ours. I think more Eli, I was wondering if you got him what he looks like now, because they would be what, like 65-ish?
Oh, I guess they would. I guess that is entirely possible that I got.
And that's why I had asked you, because I was like, he still looks like the perp. I mean, to me,
oh my God.
Right. He's just like an older, like what he would look like right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I was same jaw structure, same basic eye shape, same nose. Okay, yeah, that could be. That very well could be.
And Anna's pictures at the very top, he still has that like wide face, you know what I mean, like athletic-y type of thing. But then all the females. So I'm not sure who I drew. I don't know if this is like what the female looked like now. And then I did it again with, I made sure to set my intention at the time of the crime. And then I got the girl, she looks a little bit softer and longer hair. So you know what I mean? So I don't know if that's what she looked like at the time. And then now this is what she looks like older. I'm not quite sure how that worked. But Anna's face kind of looks like the girl at the time of the crime. I mean, look at that. That's crazy to me. I feel like they have like the same facial lines and stuff.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm on my phone, so I'll have to look at them later.
Okay. And if you guys are okay, I'm going to share these photos on TikTok. And of course, you guys will have your names on your photos. And I think, I can't believe, Morgan, how much yours and mine look alike.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's wild. And I do feel like Eli sketched an older version. Now I'm going to be freaking looking at everybody in that community and being like, I know you're freaking here. But will someone, and maybe that's awesome. Maybe that's divine happening, y'all. So we know what this guy looks like now.
So,
You know
and
what I'm
as I was
saying?
flipping back through my stuff, Olivia, I know you mentioned something about possibly being a brother. I got brother too. It just took me a minute to find it in all my hodgepodge of notes.
You mean for like the perpetrators?
Yeah, that it was either mistaken identity, they thought he was his brother, or that the perpetrators were brothers. Brother came up 2 or 3 times for me,
Yeah.
and I was never quite able to kind of land it what it meant. So
Yeah. And I get weird shit that pops up, right? So like for me, I think it's just about it's more like, see, this is similar. See, this is similar. Because I do get a lot of movie references. I get a lot of song references. I get a lot of that kind of stuff. And so I felt like, oh, there's your beautiful face. Hello, Morgan.
I know. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm being nothing but a hindrance. It would not let me use the camera because it was connected to my car because I just got home from work and my car just let it time out. So that's why I can jump on.
Oh my God. Technology sucks.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, anyways, I'm wondering if I got Tommy and Jason because, but you know, maybe the T went because of the school. I didn't think about the T connection there. But I did get Tommy and Jason. That's where I felt like maybe the perpetrators, there's some kind of like brother connection there somewhere. Yeah. And I think it's interesting that Milo got 3 and I was like counting, you know, we got taught to like look at the perpetrators in the car and then count the back of their heads. You know what I mean? So I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there 6? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just kept counting back. But yeah, so super interesting. Maybe, just maybe you all, maybe they'll be able to catch this little fucker, is what I have to say.
This group of.
Yeah, this group of.
yeah.
Well, I think I heard karma. I think
Yes.
there's some karmic shit that might have happened in their lives that, maybe they don't go to jail, but did they live the happiest life? Were they, you know what I'm saying? Like when this stuff happened to them, that was like kind of karmic. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't know. But
yeah,
you guys are a bunch of badasses. Seriously. I am humbled to be in your presence. Yeah. But yeah, does anybody have anything after seeing these pictures? But I can't get over the T and I'm going to add some of those pictures to my reel on TikTok as well. When it comes to your T and your eagle thing, that's fucking crazy.
Yes. Wild.
Well, like I said, I couldn't tell what kind of bird. It was just the head of a bird, but it wasn't like, like a cardinal or anything like that.
Right. But the fact that that's their mascot and everybody was poo-pooing that. I mean, it sounded like I had found some stuff on Facebook where people were talking and they were like, oh, why would they do that? Like, they're just kids. Why would they? And I'm just like, kids have done dumber things.
Kids.
For the same reason. Exactly.
I mean, maybe they've just never met teenage boys.
They're so lucky.
Right.
I love all my teenage boys. I mean, not like that. All right. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much for your time today. And, maybe we add just a shed of light here. And even if it's no evidence to be found, I mean, I honestly don't feel like there's evidence to be found here. What do you guys feel?
Not at this time. That's over 50 years ago.
I know.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like they're going to have that type of justice. But maybe then it just eases knowing like they're not crazy. They're not wrong. They're not, I don't know. maybe that helps in some way, if that helps the family and the family members, and maybe Nick's brother, Bobby, or whatever. And maybe they see this and it helps ease that. I mean, that's why I do this. I know that's why we all do this. But hey, you guys.
Fingers crossed the next solar eclipse is August 12th, and we know eclipses like to bring closure to things, and maybe it'll bring something out.
Yeah.
Lots of missing people are found around eclipse season.
Yes.
Wow, awesome.
Where we had this conversation before.
In Pam's class.
That's exactly right. That's right. How, you know what? How freaking cool would that be?
Yeah.
It would be very cool.
Y'all. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I love you bunches. You know that. And hopefully we can get together. There's always cases, unfortunately, to hammer out. But let's get together soon. And
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
do this again.
Thanks so much for having us on.
Oh,
Yes,
of
thank you.
course.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys. Love you bunches, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.